Okay, setting up first. You think I could set up before showing up here, but I want to expose the whole process. I want to share this with my virtual friends. Again, it's like an elevation thing. I need the right angle so that I can feel like I'm standing properly. Otherwise, like my knees are bent and it's not as comfortable for me. I don't know, a Kleenex box too high. What did I use last time? I have this like dollar store thing for pencils. Yeah, that helps. Cool. Okay. Comfort. There's a chair. I could use a chair. Do a little sit down. I tried. Okay. No. I would love to sit on the couch. Like you don't even know. It has been broken before. And I'm trying to be respectful of the things that are not mine. I see a table. I can use a table. This is me trying to do a normal setup in a space that isn't mine, that isn't designed by me. So it's like, what do I use? How do I place myself? Placing my body is a strange thing. I don't know how to situate myself right now. I'm gonna go for coffee while I think about this. I could just stand. That's a possibility. I can do like fun moves like this. This is an amusing thing. Look, the little glasses, just standing like this. I think it's pretty funny. They're not mine. Do I look more educated? There's definitely an assumption that glasses make you look more educated or smarter. All right, I'm gonna stop the music. I'm gonna situate myself here and now. Yes. Oh, I guess that means I don't move anymore. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have a plan, obviously. But I did open my journal of writings I've been working on for over 2 years now. And this morning I'm inspired by, I think I have an idea of what's going to be comfortable for me. Yes. Yeah, okay. I can vibe with that. I can do that. I'm like this. This feels better for me right now. For the moment, this kind of ties in with today's topic. Well, I know, like, don't show up with the topic, but there's something on my mind, which is an echo of what my mom told me yesterday, which is that I am probably not normal, which is really funny. It's really funny. Anybody else out there have parents telling them they're not normal? Sorry, Mom. I don't mean to put you on the spot here. If you ever, I mean, she's probably going to listen to this at some point in her life, maybe. It's not an offense taken whatsoever. She followed her comment by saying, what is normal anyway? And I think we can all agree on the fact that there's so many different perspectives in this world. Literally, nobody sees things the same way. And if you do, well, are you like, is it your way of seeing things, or are you imitating something that you've been told is the expected perception? So, what I did when I opened my journal or like writing that I've been working on is I have a piece that I wrote a while back. I remember when I was having the ideas for that piece, driving my motorbike. And because a lot of ideas would come to me at that time, just driving, I'm in my helmet. So like what else am I gonna do but think? I mean, it's a thing that happens. So yeah, I mean I wrote something that's called For the Weird Ones. And I don't know, I just relate with it. I relate with it because um I something keeps coming up like that's mainstream right now. It's popular. People are saying that the ultimate desire for humans is to be seen and to be heard. And and one of my obsessions in this lifetime is kind of related to self-transcendence and this whole idea of seeing from outside. And as much as I feel like I'm able to tap into much higher perspectives a lot of the time, it's still a funny game of trying to see self. Because um, even if you tap into the beginnings of the universe, I know that's where my mind goes. I can't help it. But even in the beginnings of the universe, if you have like the one dot that is the origin, like just picture a dot. That's the origin. The like, you have like the alpha and the omega. It's like the full circle thing coming back to itself. Like the whole story of existence and how things came to be and everything came from nothing. That's where my mind goes. And if you think about that, where the origin creates a project, a projection of itself, and creates the mirror, which is the other, so that it can see itself. Even from that point on, you always only have access to yourself through an image given from outside. So what happens as I'm like walking through this existence in this human form is that all the people we meet, I can speak for everybody because we're sharing this experience. All the people we meet are mirrors of ourselves. And it's like, if you remember the holographic view of the universe that I referred to prior, where every like we're like the center, like the core of this sphere, and the sphere is like composed of all these mirrors around, and each person is like one mirror. And so eventually you see more of yourself reflected back to you. But it's interesting because you find out a lot of information about like perceptions, how things appear on the outside, because it's not something I have access to. Of course, the image that is projected is also dependent on the mirror. How clean is the mirror? How or if we want to compare the mirror to like water reflecting, um, water reflecting light, just showing an image, kind of like when you see a forest with the river and you see the trees in the river being reflected. Well, the same way, if people are reflecting an image to us, how still is the water? And again, we're composed of 70% water. So like, how still are we within so that we can reflect a clear image to the outside? So there's all these factors to take into consideration when we choose to pay attention to the images that are projected. But for me, there's the deep value of closing my eyes and rooting myself at the core in the center of the sphere, so that I can actually shut off the other images and project what I see inside, as a knowing, and bring that outside. And well, it's an idea, it's a project, it's an intention. But when it comes to the weird ones, what about them? Let's see. The chair is a little low. um, maybe I could read it. Maybe I could read it because right now, honestly, I don't remember what I said. I just remember thinking about it, and it's on my mind this morning because I've just been told that I'm not normal. And well, let's see what normal is. Who knows? For the weird ones, I kind of want to grab a jacket. It's okay. I'm not that cold. When I think back on my high school days, I think of the different groups that emerged from the classification of character types: the popular kids, the nerdy ones, the artists, the athletes, the ones who seemed like they didn't belong, as if that was any indication of who actually felt alone. High school is this contained ecosystem that is closed off just enough to gain the importance of a world of its own. At a time when kids look for their own identity after years of systemic manipulation, the mirror neurons that project our reality become the primordial force that rules our life. The longing for connection is in it. The epidemic of loneliness is incidental. How can I relate with these people when I struggle to relate with myself? How can I fit into this mold when all I crave is true substance? We look around and we see some smiles, some walk face down in their own exile. We can see success hung up on the walls, testaments of stress-induced protocols, and the lingering voice that whispers to all, you must fit this mold or dare face the brawl. I think of the so-called weird ones, an adjective we probably all felt could describe us at a certain point when our authenticity didn't seem to match what our mind told us would be liked. On the other end of the spectrum, a fetishism around the weirdness one can express may push us to the extreme when the comedian within comes to life in the hopes of pleasing the crowd. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. We're all trying to find ourselves, and it's been a tricky game in an environment that's been stripped of its own nature. I think of the awkwardness that underlies our attempts at anything, because trying was always a precursor of the downfall. And it's not that the downfall is bad in itself. We learn a lot from trying and failing. We learn much more this way than we do remaining in the known. But there's an underlying force that has to do with the essence that is acting, not the action itself. The mold is a beautiful tool for the artist to create a new masterpiece. But the artist has lost their marble if they're putting the mold around themselves. And though we can recognize the symbiotic product of the artist evolving with its creation, what I'm pointing to is the manipulative force that has caused the artist to bend its own self to the perceived desires of all its selves. The observers, friends, family, strangers, mentors, in order to become something else. And from that point, creation became reactive, not inspired. The way back to inspiration requires the stripping away of all the pressures we have integrated throughout our experience. And I'd be lying if I said I have a method for it to come, because what I know is that when I wish to get inspired, I most likely meet stagnation. Le syndrome de la page blanche. In a way, the blank canvas is the greatest gift. It's the fear of letting go that stalls us in our work. How should I start? What should I do? Too much thinking. You feel me? I'm letting my fingertips do their thing on the keyboard now, a product of the synapses that carry the electromagnetic current within the mind that animates this made-up me. On the grander scale, synapses will allow us to feel the conjunction of the electromagnetic waves from which all has come, the mold, the mud, the fire that moves us, and the space in which all moves. I was driving home, speaking to myself in my motorbike helmet, inspired by a flash of compassion, as I reflected on these nostalgic times of my younger self in conjunction with the behaviors I observed daily at school. Kids calling others weird already. They're only 9 years old and they have integrated the notions of what characteristics should be liked and which shouldn't. And I wish I could reach the control panel, press a few buttons, change a few wirings, God help me, because technology, and that they may return to the pure expression of what they are meant to be. Though as I wish upon a breath, I smile because our world is filled with stars. Children and grown-ups who braved the norm and remembered their true form. You see it in their eyes, in their posture. You hear it in their intonation, their assertiveness. There is no hesitation in their expression. It's not that there's no lack of confidence. It's that the expression is true to the inner experience. From within, projected without, as opposed to reflected from without back to the mirror. A 2 times movement as opposed to 3. Does that make any sense? I guess our senses could tell. We feel it when it's true. Belief becomes superfluous. Knowing subsists. Humbly we exist, knowing where we belong, standing straight on our axis. You, my love, the one who strayed away from expectations, are the star. You are a gift to this world, and we need you. You are here to remind all the ones who have forgotten what it means to be unique. The one, the everything, the part and the whole, the gift and the receiver. Let's bathe in those frequencies until our authenticity returns. You'll know when you got it. You'll be coming home to yourself, back to the start. That is the end of For the Weird Ones. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a type of writing that feels very therapeutic to me, to get ideas out. And well, hopefully they mean something to you, or that you just enjoyed listening to it. I think it's all I want to share this morning. And well, I'll be sharing a little bit more later, but today I am actually going on an adventure to the city of Montreal with a friend. So I kind of have to start packing stuff, and I still have this coffee to enjoy. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be going to a place that I don't go to often, or just like seeing new things. And yeah, I love adventures, so I'm excited. That's all. I'm going to wish you all a beautiful day. Thank you for listening. I hope that this inspired you in any way. Maybe to just, yeah, fuck normal. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Until next time, stay dope.